Well, good afternoon. I said that wrong. It is a great afternoon. Glad to see you to both my online classes. Welcome to Breakthrough. There's a story of a lost traveler. He's traveling, he's lost. He stumbles in the middle of the forest upon an apple tree. And he sees this apple tree and thinks, wait, how is there an apple tree in the middle of this forest? But he hasn't eaten in 7 days. He goes right up to the apple tree, starts eating the apples. He has his fill, and then he leaves. The tree wasn't happy about this, but the tree thought, it's just one person. I'm not going to even sweat it. Then, a few days later, that same lost traveler comes with 12 other lost travelers and says, do you see? This is the apple tree that saved me in my time of need. And they all go to the apple tree, all of them famished and starving, eat the apples. Now, the tree was furious. And he told the original traveler, hey, come here, sucker. The tree's from the east side. I can say that. She says, hey, man, I don't appreciate you eating my oranges. And last time you were here, you were eating my oranges. And now you brought 12 other people here eating my oranges, and I don't appreciate that. And they all start to laugh. They say, oranges? There's no oranges here. You are an apple tree. And the tree says, well, really trying to produce oranges. I said, no, no, no. We know you by the fruit you bear. People will see you by what you produce and they'll know who you are. When I keep producing that thing, that must be who I am. When people come to me, they're seeking something from me. We went to the apple tree seeking apples, not oranges. We go to certain people seeking leadership. We go to certain people seeking advice, information, mentoring. We go to certain people to seek humor. We go to certain people to seek storytelling. Why do people come to us, to me, to you? If no one ever comes to me for leadership advice, maybe that's not what they see in me. Hmm. What is it that I'm actually producing? Now, in this story, the tree can only produce apples, but me, you, we have unlimited possibility, unlimited power. I look at what I'm producing, I look at the results, I look at what I've actually been producing, and then I can decide that's not what I want to do any longer. That's not who I am. I know there's more out there for me. I've been producing procrastination. I've been producing laziness. I've been producing gossip. I've been producing backslide. I've been producing unforgiveness. I've been producing these things, and that's not who I am. I've been producing short-sightedness and small-minded, and it's been coming from me. And that's not what I want to produce anymore. Deciding, even in this class, I can be a good speaker. I can change the world. I can inspire people. Then I get to start producing that. Mm, mm. There's a story of a farmer who has two pots. And every day, this farmer carries these two large pots on his back and forth to get water for his village. One of the pots has a crack in it. And because of this flaw, it pours out half, probably half of it, let's say 2 gallons worth of water every day. And the pot is insecure about this crack, about this flaw, about this imperfection. And the pot tells the farmer, hey, when we get back to the village, just get rid of me. I'm no good. The farmer puts down both pots. What are you talking about? Well, I just have this crack, I have this imperfection, I have this flaw. I'm different compared to this other guy. And how many of us know that comparison story where we compare ourselves to other people? We compare ourselves who we think we should be or who we used to be or what should have happened. Well, this other guy, there's nothing wrong with him. But me, I'm just dumping all this water. The farmer says, turn around. The pot turns around. Farmer says, what do you see? Well, I see a path. No, says to the pot, what do you see? Well, I see these beautiful flowers. I see dandelions and daffodils and bluebonnets and roses. I just see this long path full of beautiful flowers. And the farmer says, what side are they on? And the pot says, well, they're on my side. Yeah, they're on your side. The farmer says, I knew you by your flaws. And months ago, I planted seeds day in and day out. And you, because of you, what you thought was a flaw, what you thought was an imperfection, you kept watering those seeds. And it is because of your flaw, it is because of your imperfection, it is because of your deformity, it is because of your what you thought was a disability, it actually made other things come to life. Come here. Sometimes we think that our imperfection makes us imperfect, but I'm telling us maybe our imperfection makes us perfect for the people on our path. Maybe that imperfection is actually perfect for my purpose because of what I thought was broken, decided to just be open. Even when I was broken, I was still open and I kept pouring out into other people. And in that pot, which is you, myself, we made other things come alive. There is some beauty even in the brokenness. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to today? Mm, what's the story? What's the story that you tell yourself? And that story is very powerful. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. Have I told you the story of the two brothers? Two brothers? I've got to have told you the story. Two brothers. One's very successful. One is on drugs, an addict, in and out of jail. A journalist hears about it and says, well, how are you successful? My dad was an alcoholic. I just looked at that growing up. Goes to the other brother. You're always in and out of jail, doing drugs. How are you here? My dad was an alcoholic. What's the story that I tell myself? The reason why it won't work out, the reason why I'm not good enough, the reason why people betray me, the reason why I can't trust people. What's the story that I keep telling myself? Yep, it's never going to work out. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. I've done too much. I've messed up. It won't work out. I got kicked out of Los Angeles. Did I tell you this story? I had a song on the radio, had some success, was doing lots of comedy and stand up, and I pitched a show to Fox, and life just took me a different direction. And it wasn't until I moved home back in Dallas after several years in Los Angeles. I remember one day my mom was having back surgery and all this different pain. And it was the hardest thing seeing my mom in all that pain and frustration, going to different meetings and hearing her wail out in pain. The person who I thought was the strongest person being feeble and hurt and pain. One day she's healed from the surgery. She feels better. She comes up the steps one day. I'm applying for jobs because life sucks. That's the story. And I don't know why she came up. She doesn't even, to this day, she has no idea why she was coming up those steps. I said, Mom, are you okay? I put down what I was applying for. And she looks at me and she passes out. She faints. She falls to the ground. And I leap, I lunge toward her and I catch her before she hits her neck on the step. And my life flashed before my eyes. I was thinking about why Los Angeles and why these things didn't work out, but I realized that I had to be there in that moment to catch her, to save her. She was always going to go up those steps. She was always going to have surgery. That was the next point. That was always going to happen. And if I had been successful the way I wanted to, I would not have been there. No one was there. My dad was gone. My sister was off. No one was there but me to be there to support her, the one who had always supported me. And then I thought, wow, I have been selfish because my life up until that point had always been about me. When will I be successful? What can I do for me? Why haven't I made it? I want to do this. Me, 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 I. I had a vision problem because it was all about I. And that was the path that got me into motivational speaking. That was the path that got me into teaching. That was the path that got me into wanting to change lives, that there's more out there. And I realize now that going back to Dallas wasn't my final destination. That was just a detour. Life will put me on a detour that where I think is the destination is actually just a detour. And when I'm on a detour, there is some construction, but construction is there for improvement, even when it seems inconvenient. You better come get me. And that there are just some places there, even when I get in my car, I might go get gas, but I don't stop at the gas station. That's just a refuel. And that Dallas was just a refuel for me, that I was just supposed to be there temporarily and get refueled up and then boom, go back on the road and still keep going to my final destination. What is the story that I tell myself about 2020, about 2021, 2022, 2023, you name it, whatever year, what's the story that I tell myself?